this is video 2 for the Archer D1x system, and I'm showing you some more of the continuing process of installing it and getting it to run and checking out the maintenance and looking at the apps and things like that. And now I'm getting ready to install the app, and just for those who are interested in knowing that what the app needs access to, so it doesn't need access to everything on your phone. It only needs access to location, so it needs GPS or the network-based GPS, so you can get approximate location. And it has to have full network access. It needs Bluetooth access because it communicates via Bluetooth. So it also needs to see your network connections. It doesn't allow your phone to go to sleep. And it has a refer, an API, and it pairs with Bluetooth, and it receives data from the internet. So it's not, so Archer Components isn't getting all your contacts and all the other things that, you know, a lot of other apps like games and everything, they always want access to everything on your phone, pictures and cameras and all kinds of stuff. So it's good that they don't need access to all that silliness, that it's just a basic app installed so that you can communicate with your shifter. So now I'm getting ready to do the initialization. I've just installed the app and I'm getting ready to do the initialization, and the first thing it says is make sure that the chain is on the smallest cog. So now I've got to mess with the derailleur and get it to the smallest cog. Okay, just following what it says on the app, what I needed to do is put it in the smallest cog. I needed to get the derailleur over there to the smallest cog, and then I need to tighten this up. So I need to tighten the cable as tight as I can get it, and then I'll initialize the motor and start the setup. Now keep in mind that the fun part of setting this up on a Velo, especially with one person, is somehow I've got to go all the way over there and pedal and make the shifter changes at the same time. So it's not like I can stand here and turn the cranks like on a normal bike. I've got to figure out how to get way up there and turn them. So I may have to take the Velo down, put it on the floor so I can get inside of it and pedal and shift gears at the same time. And we'll see what happens when we try that. But I'm going to try it on the table because supposedly I can control this from the app first before I install the remote controller in the bike. So let me see if I can get that to work, and we'll go from there. I'm just following the instructions in the app. Okay, so I'm using the app. I set it up. As you can see, I'm using the gear indicators here, and I'm pedaling because I got a stick on the pedals, and I shift the gears up, and I've gone all the way up to the top, and the derailleur never moved, and I can't hear the motor running or anything. The light is blinking on the shifter motor, but nothing's happening. So I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but let me see if I can get it to shift again. It's the derailleur, obviously I can move it by hand. I just tried it. That's what I was seeing to make sure that it wasn't bound up, and it's fine. And so this motor should be able to pull this derailleur over. It's not really that much tension. So I'll try it again. According to the app, I'm changing gears. But according to the derailleur, it's not changing. Alright, so as you can see, I put the shifter all the way up on the app and absolutely nothing happened. It didn't move, it didn't pull, it didn't do anything. So now I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna have to figure this out, because it didn't move a bit. I mean, it didn't move, it didn't even try and move. So I don't know. Maybe I'll turn it off and start again. Okay, so what I just did was I loosened the cable, and I wanted to put some, I'll just put some hand tension on the cable and shift it with the app and see if the motor or the cable moves, and nothing happened. So what I wanted to try was this. So what I wanted to try was I just held some hand tension on it to see if there's tension on the cable holding it tight, and I wanted to see if I could get it to shift. Let me see if I can get this set up for you so you can see. So I'm holding the cable, just got some tension on it, and I'm going to shift as if the derailleur were hooked up and see what happens. So, you see everything? So it's communicating. It's not pulling at all. It's not doing anything. So it should be moving inside here. It's not doing anything. So I don't know if I got a defective one or if I set up something wrong, but I follow the instructions how it is, so I don't know. Let me read through the book again and see if I missed something. Okay, so I think I figured it out. In the app, I'd be adjusting for this gear, and I'm not changing anything with the gear up and gear down buttons, but if I do this one, then the motor moves and it starts to move the derailleur. So what I'm doing is I have to configure it with these buttons, not the gear up and down buttons. So that's kind of confusing in the app for a first time setup, because it doesn't talk about what you need to do. You're thinking you can move gears up and down, but you have to change them with this. I'm not sure exactly what these buttons do, other than I guess I'm configuring for this one. And okay, so that's what it is. So I'm configuring for this gear. This moves it up. Now I'm going to configure for this gear. So okay, so this is all of the detailed setting it up bits, and so I was a little bit confused on that. That's kind of confusing to see how that works. So let me try this again. Let me run through it and see if I can get it to work this time. This is going to be, with one person in the Velomobile, this is going to be extremely difficult to set up because my push stick keeps coming off the pedals. Alright, so I'm going to attempt something. I'm going to try and get in the Velo so I can just pedal it, and then see if I can adjust it from inside the Velo, and we'll see if that works. Wish me luck. Okay, I got it on the floor. I'm going to get in it. We'll try and pedal that way and see if I can get the shifter to shift and get into the different gears. This is a little bit complex, but hopefully once I get it set up, it'll work right all the time. Very tippy when it's on a box. Okay, so it is a little frustrating. So I have to shift the gear and then adjust the derailleur and then shift to the next gear and adjust the derailleur some more and set up each position. And that's really difficult for me being inside the Velo, being able to pedal and seeing if the derailleur is actually shifting to the gear it needs to be in. So this is extremely difficult to do like this because I can't see the derailleur and pedal at the same time. Even with a pedaling stick, it's very difficult to do. So I'm gonna have to get some assistance out here. So in a Velomobile, when you can't see the back, you're just gonna have to get some help, because there's no way I can pedal and make the derailleur move like it's supposed to when you're pedaling, because you can't shift it when it's sitting still, and see if the derailleur is where it's supposed to be. Alright, I've got to go recruit some help. Okay, so I recruited some help from my son, who has legs long enough to pedal. So he's going to be in the Velo. Now I'm going to be laying on the floor back there trying to make the adjustments through the app, so we can get this thing straight, so I can see if the gears are changing, because like I said, when I'm sitting inside of it pedaling, I can't see what the derailleur's doing, so I'll be on the back laying down. I tried to make this a one-person operation and I just couldn't do it. I tried everything.
Is there an ability to manually switch it if the Bluetooth goes out for some reason?
Nope.
If it does go out, I hope it's in gear you can pedal.
Well, there's a get me home gear that it'll shift to when the batteries get low.
That's just kind of the easier one.
Yep. Okay, pedal. Okay. Wow. So definitely a two-person operation when it comes to setting this up in a Velomobile, because you just can't pedal and see at the same time. So the other thing is understanding the app. So what you do is, like for this gear, 365 is the number that it needs to be. Then I would shift up a gear and it would put it on this next gear up here. And then I would mess with these numbers to get it to get the derailleur actually to move. So now that it's configured, all these numbers, all these little numbers are set into the shifter. So it's configured, and so now I have to go through and set up the remote that comes with it, so I don't have to control it through the app. So there's that. So I've got it set up, I've got it configured. Now I'll set up the remote control that actually goes in the bike and configure that and see how that goes. So they give you a battery. I do not know if this one is rechargeable. It is rechargeable, and I did not charge it up. So I'm gonna see if it fits in their charger, because they send you a charger that comes with the kit, and it's just a USB charger, and I don't think I have a USB. I don't think I have a USB plug out here. So I'm gonna have to go in and find a USB plug. But the charger that they send you is designed to use with all of their batteries, so I gotta go in and see if this battery's charged up now. Okay, I remembered my Velomobile battery that I use. I have a 12-volt battery in here. I just plugged in the charger to that, and the battery is not charged. So I'm gonna leave this on the charger, and probably gonna go get some dinner because it's about dinner time, and then I'll come back and finish configuring this after dinner. Okay, pleasantly that only took about 10 minutes, even on a battery, so I didn't even plug it into a real USB wall charger, so charged it up. Now I'm gonna put it in the remote and get it all assembled and see if I can pair it with the shifter and see if I can get it to work. So no picture inside there, just a plus and a minus, so you've got to line up the plus and the minus on the battery, but I mean, read plus and minus. So you can see the plus and the minus, and then of course on the battery is a plus and a minus. So you just line those up and it works. No picture, but be smart about it. And it's a pretty tight fit. And then put the cover back on. And just for fun, it does look like the cover can go on either way. Oh, one thing I wanted to show you. Because this is designed, this particular shifter is designed for mountain biking, I wanted to show you that on the battery box itself, there is a rubber seal around this, so when you put it on the remote, it's sealed up really nicely, so you don't have to worry about water getting in there to the battery. Now probably it's not waterproof, so it's not something that you want to I mean, you're not going to take this swimming, so you can't shift gears on your personal submarine, but for mountain biking in the rain, it'll be fine. So, I got the shifter remote mounted, and it just comes with a little bracket and a little screw, and I got that mounted. The reason that mine is mounted in such kind of a funny way, it looks like it's kind of a funny way, because I left the old shifter on there, because Archer told me that since it's just a demo, they wanted it back. So mine's mounted out here kind of funny, because I didn't want to change the configuration of my old one, and so I just mounted it on there. So you would mount this wherever you wanted it, and if I were mounting this for me, I would take off all of my old one, and I would probably mount it way up here towards the middle, so the buttons would be closer to where my thumb naturally would want to rest if I was holding the bar, and so I would put the buttons here. A note about the Allen wrench: when I said they put in those Allen head bolts that are 1.5 millimeter, if you do a proper unboxing and you look at all the parts you get, one of the things inside of this little bag, I don't know if you can see it, but one of the things inside there is a 1.5 millimeter Allen head wrench. So, alright, so next thing I'm going to do is do a test ride. I don't know if I'm going to do that today. I may do that tomorrow, and we'll see how this thing works. So now it's supposed to power off on its own. We'll see if it does that, and I'll give it a test ride. And one final cool feature that I just discovered, and that is when the remote that you have set up, once you pair it to the shifter, the remote that's in the bike, if it's on, even if you turn on the app, it won't pair with the shifter. So if you have your remote on, it's not like somebody can come up who has one of these and pair with your shifter and start jacking with it. So that's kind of cool. So if you leave it on, and then I have it set up for a 15-minute delay, 15-minute power off on its own. So I'll see if that works. And then, like I said, I had to turn the remote off on the bike before I could get to the app, so I could set up the Get Me Home gears, and I could set up the time to power off automatically, because it comes defaulted at 30 minutes. I set that 15 minutes because in a Velomobile you're shifting quite a bit anyway, and so that's not that big of a deal. And so, like I said, my camera battery's getting ready to die, so here we go. So I've managed a few other settings, but it's interesting how if the remote on the bike is on, the app will not turn on. It comes up with the Archer app, but it never shows the DX1 where you can pair it. So that's good to know.